The myth is that SEO is dead. It certainly is not dead. I really think it's the golden age for SEOs because we have the knowledge base to employ all of these techniques, and the techniques that you do to augment AI search are all skill sets that we already have. So if you are an SEO person that's listening to this, figure it out because it's your customers will need it. That piece that I was talking about, the schema, is the markup language or the code behind the page. The secret there is you want to match your schema to the content on your page exactly. So if you have, for example, an FAQ on your page, you can put the FAQ in the schema, and it's as detailed as question is this, answer is this, and you want that to be exact. If you're lazy and do a generic schema, it's not going to work as well. If you're sloppy and just copy the schema from every single page that you have and don't alter it to fit what's on the page, then you're not going to cite it either.
Okay, that's another great tip. Okay, so the blueprint or the behind the scenes schema needs to match and be very close and thoughtful for what's actually on the page. And that's going to help the search engines either move faster or see that you're more credible. And is that a fair summary on that? Welcome to the Build It to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on their journey from millions to billions. We believe the key to scaling and compounding your wealth in life starts every single day with the mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Our ultimate goal is to help you scale and compound your wealth in life so you can give more or all of it away to help MVPs. My name is Brett Swartz. Each and every episode, we're joined by the world's top entrepreneurs, millionaires, or billionaires, and they share their secrets, insights, and wisdom with us so we can all level up and make a bigger impact. I'm excited about our next guest. He's out of the Boston area. He's a CEO and co-founder of Green Banana SEO, a digital marketing agency born from a radical idea that performance-based SEO that guarantees page one Google rankings or clients don't pay. He has over 20 years of experience across various industries, including finance, biotech, retail, and manufacturing, and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Kevin Roy. Kevin, how are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. We're going to be talking about, this shifting AI world age that we're in and how SEO fits into it. What's changed, what's not changed, and, kind of dispel some myths that are going on and just best practices moving forward. But before we go there, would you give us just a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Sure. So I'll start with current focus. So, we're a full stack digital ad agency. We are grounded in search engine optimization, and we've really made a significant shift in the last year and a half to getting people ranked in ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, because that's where a lot of the eyes are going. My story is I've been doing this for 19 years. I started, I used to be the internet guy for a startup company called eRoom Technology. I started there right out of grad school. The company got bought by EMC, and they were handing out severance packages. I took one, bought a computer, and started my own business I was just doing websites and web dev, and someone had asked me to do SEO, and once I learned it and got into it, I got hooked, and I've been studying. A bad week for me is 5 hours of new SEO stuff that I study a week, so I love it.
Yeah. At one point you figure out your passion and you figure out what you're good at and how you can help people, and you just go down, and I love that. By the way, if people want to learn more, even right now, you can just go to Kevin's website, greenbananaseo.com, greenbananaseo.com. So let's dive right into the topic, which is this new AI age and SEO and how it, what's changed, what's not changed, and what are some of the top secrets that people need to know right now?
I can tell you what hasn't changed is, so Green Banana SEO is the battleground for testing for everything that we do. So we'll roll something on. I'm the CEO of the company, so when I battle test something, if it messes up, no one's going to fire me. So I try everything that legitimate on the Green Banana site. If it works, we roll it out. If it doesn't, we don't. And I can tell you that we haven't been cited in Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT for anything that we haven't ranked first. So SEO is really the foundation for getting ranked in these answer engines because that's where they're pulling information. They're looking at the internet for things, and if you're ranking on the top, they're going to theoretically pull you first. The other pieces of it, I'm happy to go in depth in conversation here, but it's some of the way that you structure the content and schema behind the scenes, and then the citation piece, which I think is really the most important piece.
Excellent. Okay, so foundation is still the same. In order to rank high, it sounds like you've got to already be ranking in SEO or be an authority there in the rankings. That makes sense, right? And then there's, you mentioned two other things there, which feel free to go into those.
Well, authority is actually what you just mentioned is probably the most important part. And that's what I call the citation piece. So if you think about how people are crafting content inside of AI right now, almost anybody can write anything about anything. So I like to say to clients that call, like, if I really wanted to, I could write a very compelling document on a new brain surgery technique that I've come up with, and it can have diagrams and references from Johns Hopkins, and God forbid anybody say we're going to try Kevin Roy's new brain surgery technique. So chat is concerned about that, and AI engines are concerned about that, and they can't tell, because the content is so good now, if a piece was written in AI or it wasn't. That's sort of a myth. I mean, the content is incredible right now. So what they're going to do is say, does Kevin Roy have the right to have this content cited by us? So they're going to go back and look for that authority. Like, where has he gone to medical school? How many surgeries has he done before? Has he ever been mentioned in something? So, and that right there is the reason why my brain surgery technique paper is never going to get cited. Because I have no business doing that, and I can't prove that I'm an authority in that subject matter. So one of the things that you have to do is show that you have the authority to do that. A great hack for that, if you're like overwhelmed and just starting out at it, your LinkedIn page is your resume, and it's a high authority publication. If you look at my LinkedIn page, there's an author bio link that takes you to my page, and all the pieces that I've written. If I've ever been in a podcast before, I was on Fox last year, talking about this. It's mentioned on my author bio page. When I write content about answer engine optimization or AI SEO, that links to my author page, that links to my LinkedIn page. So I'm drawing a straight line for AI to say, you know what, I've done the work for you. Here's how I'm an authority, and I'm proving it right here. So that is the major piece of it. The structural piece that I talked about in the middle was Schema. So Schema is markup language that goes on the back of your site, and think about it as a blueprint that the AI engines can pull fast. It's like the who, what, why, when, where of your page that you're just giving them in a format that they can scrape quicker.
You know what the worst thing to do is when you're selling a business? Paying huge capital gains taxes. In fact, they're about 20 to 50% of the sale. And if your client is selling, whether you're a business broker, M&A advisor, financial advisor, they have a large capital gains tax problem. And guess what? We have a solution. We build capital gains tax solutions for sellers of highly appreciated assets, including real estate, including businesses and other assets. And we want to encourage you to take action today to learn about what solutions are available. So think about a business, think about real estate, think about other assets that have at least $1 million net proceeds and $1 million gain, and the sale is going to result in 20 to 50% in tax. So what can you do? Well, you can build a capital gains tax solution with our team. Go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com or click on the link below to get started. Okay, we're speaking with Kevin Roy, everybody. You can go to greenbananaseo.com, greenbananaseo.com. Okay, that makes a ton of sense, and thank you for breaking that down. The author page, that is the authority, collection of books and maybe articles or podcasts or all of that, and that's directly connected to LinkedIn. And so it's going, Perplexity, Gemini, ChatGPT is going to say, okay, does he actually have credibility and authority in the space? And one of the best ways they're doing that is through LinkedIn and then the connections there. Okay, that makes sense. What's the next part of this secret of this new age or myth that you want to dispel for our listeners for AI and SEO?
So, the myth is that SEO is dead. It certainly is not dead. I really think it's the golden age for SEOs because we have the knowledge base to employ all of these techniques, and the techniques that you do to augment AI search are all skill sets that we already have. So if you are an SEO person that's listening to this, figure it out because it's your customers all need it. That piece that I was talking about, the schema, is the markup language or the code behind the page. The secret there is you want to match your schema to the content on your page exactly. So if you have, for example, an FAQ on your page, you can put the FAQ in the schema, and it's as detailed as question is this, answer is this, and you want that to be exact. If you're lazy and do a generic schema, it's not going to work as well. If you're sloppy and just copy the schema from every single page that you have and don't, alter it to fit what's on the page, then you're not going to get cited either.
Okay, that's another great tip. Okay, so the blueprint or the behind-the-scenes schema needs to match and be very close and thoughtful for what's actually on the page, and that's going to help the search engines, either move faster or see that you're more credible. And is that a fair summary on that?
Yeah, and if you're confused about schema, I wrote a piece that's on my website called Schema Mountain. So I ski a lot and schema, so I just thought it was funny. And I broke down the different types of schema to beginner, intermediate, and expert. And I actually gave cliff notes on our site to examples of every single type of schema. So if you're bored or you want to show your developer, there's 20 different types of schema that are laid out in easy, moderate, difficult.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's keep going here. That's a creative way. I'm looking at the website right now. It looks really good, actually. It makes me want to go snowboard. Next part of the process here and/or insights when it comes to SEO in the AI age.
So you mean the next piece of it?
Yeah, it could be either another myth you want to dispel, or even just the next step. If people are like, okay, SEO is not dead, right? Getting the schema right, getting the authority, dialed in, right? So what, creating the content, walk us through some of that.
So the third part is what we call the 3-block blueprint. Mm-hmm. And so what you're doing is you're making sure that the page fulfills these quote unquote 3 blocks. And the net of it is you're making it easy for AI to understand and prove out the content on your page. So block number 1 is the answer block, and that is if you're talking about, let's say you wanted to rank for or be cited for peanut butter and jelly sandwich recipe, your first sentence is going to be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich recipe is made of bread, jelly, peanut butter. You want to make it really simple, no marketing BS, silly buzzword stuff to bring it up in the beginning. You just want to be very specific. This is what this page is about. The second piece is the proof piece. And what that is show that we've done all these other different types of sandwiches, and if you want to construct the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, this is the type of bread you need, this is the type of peanut butter you need, this is the type of jelly that we prefer, right? So you put that in there. And then the final piece is what's next. So what's next is maybe where you can go buy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, ingredients, or you can do an FAQ. So the questions and answers that are related to that, like how do I make the first one, a perfect one? What do I do if my son has peanut allergies, right? So that 3 blocks seems to work the best to get cited for in AI a lot easier than if you don't have those. Okay,
so let's get a little more practical. I think that's very, very, very detailed. Is this like the front page of your website, or is this
every page? So
Every page, okay.
The trick to ranking in SEO, and if you think about the reason that search engines were made, is a search engine is trying to return the most relevant page for the keyword phrase that you're typing in, not website, but page. So if you Google basketball, the Wikipedia page usually it comes in first or second for the word basketball, and that page is nothing about just basketball. When it was invented, how it's scored, how the game is played, probably a piece about Springfield, Massachusetts, a link to LeBron James or Michael Jordan. So you're creating a relevant content page about that. So that's the first step to ranking everything. So if you want to be known for a specific subject matter in AI or in SEO, you have to have a page that is relevant to the keyword phrase that you're trying to make. The reason we call the company Green Banana SEO is about, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. I was at an engineering conference and we were talking about what we did, and my topic was on SEO, and it was super boring as everyone else's topic was. And I got up and said, I can't do this presentation. I'm going to show you. They had a whiteboard, and I said, I'm going to show you how to rank on page 1 for banana. And I couldn't find a yellow pen, so I said, all right, I'm going to show you how to rank on page 1 for green banana. And I drew a graph of a fruit store and showed apples and oranges and blueberries and pears and grapes and bananas. And I said, do you think this page is going to rank well for banana? And some of them said okay, and some of them said no. And I said, well, look, why would Google say this is the most important page on the internet for green banana? And the green banana is diluted by all the other fruit. So if I want this to rank, I have to have a page dedicated to green banana. So that's the secret to ranking for SEO, and it's also the crux of being cited in AI.
Okay, this is awesome. And by the way, it's the reason why you want to hire the who, not be the how. Kevin Roy, buddy, greenbananaseo.com, greenbananaseo.com. You can check out his Schema Mountain here, which is awesome. And you can check out and learn about how the industry-leading demand generation and answer engine optimization service that he offers, 18 plus years of experience. Okay, so what haven't I asked you so far that is either other secrets to getting number 1 on Google and or accelerating your SEO search capabilities?
So, that piece. So the relevance piece is the most important. There is, if you have someone on board on your team that is technical, you want to make sure that your site isn't super slow, that there's not a bunch of broken pages on the site, that the pages that you have linking to one another are relevant, and that's really important. So go back to my relevance piece and how I was really pushing relevance is important. If my banana page is linking to my sneaker page, it's not relevant. If it's linking to a fruit page, sure, that's relevant. So you want to make sure that you're creating those relevant linking pieces. But technical SEO, just make sure the site's not super slow and there's not a bunch of broken pages, because when the engines are doing a crawl and they run into a bunch of broken pages, they can get frustrated and leave, and you don't want that to happen.
Makes sense. And what about when to pay for ads, if ever, right? And Google ads versus YouTube ads, like in Facebook ads, like just any kind of thoughts on that?
That's a great question. So it depends on what you're selling and where you are in the timeline. What I mean by let's start with where you are in the timeline. You have a brand new site and you need to get business right away. It's going to take 3 to 6 months to start to get ranking in organic. If you need business right away, Google Ads is a great way to do it. Google Ads also now has ads appearing in Gemini, so they've already figured out how to monetize for that. And so if you're really worried about getting ranked in Gemini, there's an ad. Your ad platform is going to get you in there. Chat actually just started beta testing ads yet, and we've only seen a couple ads come out, but ChatGPT is going to be rolling that out shortly. Using Google Ads, another great thing about Google Ads, other than being able to get ranked quickly because you're paying when you get ranked, it's a great way to test whether keyword phrases work or not. So before you engage in an SEO program with someone, if you really want to know what the keywords that you're going to ask this agency to try to optimize you for, put it in Google Ads. And if you're hitting the cover off the ball with this one keyword, or this one keyword that you thought you needed to dominate page 1 for is getting you clicks and zero business, assuming that your site is good and your message is consistent, then that's not a keyword for you. When I was talking about the different types of businesses, if you have a product or service that no one is actively looking for online. So imagine if you, I don't know, invented a snowboard that could go uphill really easily. No one's looking for that because, it, you know, to the best of my knowledge, that doesn't exist. So social, I mean, Meta is amazing for that. So you're just going to target all the snowboarders and hit them with your picture of some dude going straight up a hill on a snowboard, and you'll do very well for that. But that's not the best avenue for Google Ads or SEO because there's no search volume. So no one's looking for that solution yet.
Okay, fascinating. So I wonder if we can get practical here, right? So we build capital gains tax exit plans for people that are purpose-driven entrepreneurs or exiting large businesses, real estate, Bitcoin, have millions of gains. Very specific, like people are searching, you know, we call our company Capital Gains Tax Solutions because someone is probably going to search capital gains tax, you know, maybe solutions or problems or ways to overcome it. So that's the name of our company. We use it. We have different products that we use, different strategies. And so sometimes people search through that and find us. But I'm kind of curious, like what, if any, when you're like a technical, precise type of service, what would be your suggestions on that?
So one of the things that we do for people is we look at their competitors. So if you have competitors that are bugging you, that are bigger than you, that are getting in your way, that are ranking really well, there are tools like, you know, Ahrefs or SEMrush that will scrape all of the keywords that they are ranking for, and that gives you a little bit of fodder. Like, do you want to rank for these keyword phrases? Keep in mind that's making the assumption that they are optimized properly, which is a dangerous assumption to make. So you always got to take those reports with a grain of salt. I like to typically put 3 or 4 competitors into SEMrush, and if there's a bunch of them that are all using the same keyword phrase, it's a pretty good idea that they're good keywords. So that is something that can give you an idea. Another thing is to, you know, speak to the people in your company and say, what pain points are people searching for? Because maybe they don't even know that there's a capital gains tax solution. Like, you know, I just won the lottery. What should I do with my money? Like simple questions, questions like that. Or, you know, I just got my family's inheritance or my like retirement fund. Just, you know, I'm pulling it out, right? So things like that they might not know would even trigger a capital gain. So it might be, you know, those could be the things that you're looking into.
Well, that's really great.
And look at those keywords.
Yeah, I love it. And you said it was SEMrush. How do you spell that?
SEMrush. There's a free. It's. I shouldn't be saying this. We use it. Agencies use it. It's not inexpensive. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a great tool. But.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. What question haven't I asked so far that I should be asking, or that you want to make sure you share for any listeners out there who own businesses and want to rank and want to grow their business through SEO?
I would say this is a general AI piece. One of my favorite quotes that I've heard this year is that AI is the dumbest today that it's ever going to be. And I love that statement. It is only getting smarter. And if you are, I would not even say if you are, don't be afraid of it. If you haven't used AI, download it and just start messing around with it for fun. Like, where should I go on vacation? Or take a picture of your house and say, put a garage for a blimp to go on the side of it. Just do it and start to have fun, so you can start to think about the different ways that you can incorporate that into your business. The adoption rate is massive, and it's not going away. If you are looking for, you know, how to get ranked in AI SEO, and you have a relationship with an SEO person, ask them, because they've got most of the tool sets to be able to get you to that position.
Awesome. Kevin, are you ready for the lightning round?
Sure.
All right, we'll start
Whatever that is.
We'll test you on your tax on your tax IQ, which is part of what we also help to talk about. So you've been in with businesses or help businesses grow, but then once they grow, they got to exit, right? And being in, I was originally from Taxifornia, you're from Massachusetts, right? And there's New York, there's Jersey. These are some brutal. I mean, that's 20, 30, 40, 50% of your exit is going to be crushed with tax. Or so you can build a capital gains tax solutions in 5 hour solution, and you can defer all that tax and grow that wealth and compound that and all this really cool stuff. So what has been your biggest frustration when it comes to exiting a business or someone you know or yourself?
So the frustration that we have is the unknown. Like we're a service industry, and our most valuable, aside from our employees, which is our most valuable asset, and my dog Sammy, who's behind me, we have computers that are depreciate literally the day after we buy them. So we have no assets here. So that is tax is something that we're consistently worried about. And yes, the thought of selling the business and having to give half of it away makes me never want to sell the business.
It's almost like you have two choices: to sell, give half it away, or let it just slowly diminish, and so no one gets anything. Like part of you, it's at a certain point you're like, oh, they're gonna take half? Okay, wow, right? And so
we didn't do anything to help you. I mean, theoretically, we didn't do most of the work to help you grow.
Right.
I can see they built a support system, but give us half.
Exactly.
No thanks.
Exactly. So if you want to learn how to defer capital gains taxes before you exit, you got to set these things up. They're a trust with an installment sale method that we specialize in that can use for any business. We just did a large tech business exit, very similar to type of thing where it's intellectual, it's IP, it's not there's not a lot of stuff that's depreciable, mostly goodwill. We've done it with jet businesses, we've done it with car washes, we've done it with CPA firms, so service firms, manufacturing. You can exit a business, defer the tax. Also, Bitcoin, business sales, real estate sales, stock sales. Just go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. Keep going here. What's your number one book you've recommended the most in the past year?
So I'm going to say a brand new book that I'm reading, The Meaning of Your Life by Arthur Brooks, which is not a business book, but he is a new client of ours. And so I read the book because I was like, he's a new client, so I should really understand it. And it's amazing.
Sweet.
So I like that, but I always default to Think and Grow Rich because that's I read that 5 or 6 times.
Sweet.
That's always one of my favorites.
Excellent. Next question. What are you most curious about right now?
AI agents, agentic AI. I am very interested about and curious about.
Number one tool you're using in AI, is it cloud co-work and building them out, or is something even better than that?
I'm still a Chat Pro guy. I've started to really enjoy Notebook LM because you can dump in lots and lots and lots of files where Chat has a 10 file limit piece of it. But now I'm trying to learn OpenClaw and Claude Code for the agentic piece of it when I have free time.
Excellent. Next question. Number one leadership quote or thing that you strive to live by?
What's the one thing that I can do to make me not have to do this again?
That's so good. I tell my team, I'm like, hey, why am I teaching you this, right? And they go, so you never have to do this again. I'm like, yep, exactly. This is why I'm teaching you this, right? And it's a good thing because eventually, if you do enough of these and you do them well enough, then you'll never have to do it again either because we'll hire another person to help them.
Right. Build a process around it.
Yeah, excellent. Next question. Actually, this is the last question. We'll wrap it up. So after all your success, helping all the people you've helped grow what you've grown, and how do you best keep a mindset of stewardship over ownership?
So it's really the learning piece. Like I thoroughly enjoy learning. I have some great people that I've surrounded myself with that are a lot smarter than me in what I do, and then I have a team of amazing people that enjoy what they do. So we've got a great team, and it's the learning piece is definitely not boring, and AI has certainly made it not boring because things are changing every 5 minutes.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, I want to thank you for being on the show, sharing your expertise. I want to encourage you to keep using your gifts and talents to help people grow and rank and make a bigger impact with their business and their services and their expertise out in AI, out in Google, out in all the search engines. For our listeners who want to get in touch with you, one last time, what is the best place for them to find you?
2 places. They can go to greenbananaseo.com, or you can Google I just met Kevin. If you put it into chat, it's going to say who cares. But if you Google I just met Kevin, it'll take you to my...
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kevin Roy. I also want to thank all of our listeners and viewers for watching or viewing or listening to another episode of the Build It to Billions podcast. We're also streaming on Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast and YouTube channels. And we're on this journey with you to scale from millions to billions so we can give more of all the way to help MVPs, the most vulnerable people. My name is Brett Swartz. I want to encourage you to take action today. Hire the who, don't be the how. Rank up in your SEO. Make a bigger impact. And of course, if you have a large exit coming up, $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com so you don't get maybe crushed by up to 50% of your sale going to the government agencies. You can legally defer it if you build a plan prior to the exit. Bitcoin, business, real estate, sales. Go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. I'm Brett Swartz. Appreciate you listening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.